And, you know, people have been calling me ugly since I was a kid. People have been making fun of the way that I look, like how big my nose is, my face, just my face alone. Like people calling me fucking ugly, saying that I look masculine. Why? Because my boobs aren't huge, because I don't have super long hair that falls down my back. I have 4C hair. When my hair grows out, it's like an afro, unless I get weave and I put braids in it. You know, my hair doesn't grow down my back like, you know, most people who don't look like me. My hair grows in very curly, and it's, like I said, a big poofy afro. Like, I can't help these things about myself in the way that I've looked since I was a kid. Since I was a little girl, getting bullied the exact same way. And it really bothers me and triggers me that people say black people can't get bullied. That's fucking disgusting. When I hear theories like black women can't be attacked, black women are too tough to be assaulted, black women are too strong and tough to have these bad things happen to them, it makes me sick to my stomach because I know it's a lie. I am a survivor of sexual abuse. I am a survivor of so much shit at the hands of other people. Please tell me where I had the control as a black woman to have survived all that shit, to be standing here today 30 years later, where I was too tough and too strong because of the melanin in my skin, because I was black, to have gone through those things. Please tell me, because there is no evidence to back that fucked up theory up. The most fucked up theory that a person, because of their skin color, can't go through the same kinds of trauma as somebody who doesn't have melanin in their skin. Because they're quote unquote too tough, because they're so much stronger. What? Like, it makes me ill. I deal with it 24/7. I can't even leave my apartment without dealing with bullshit from people that I don't know, that I've never spoken to a day in my life, that have never spoken to me a day in my life, that I've never listened to anything that I have ever had to say. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. And this is why I get to a point where I just can't keep it inside anymore. And it festers inside of me, and it makes me physically ill, as well as it affects my mental health, because I have to constantly deal with it. Because I have to constantly deal with people pointing out things about me that I find beautiful personally, and trying to twist it into something so fucking fucked up, as if there's something wrong with the way that I look. Not just my skin color, but the way that I was born. Like, I'm not pretty enough. I don't wear enough makeup. My hair's not long enough. My nails aren't done to perfection. My clothes aren't, expensive enough. My clothes aren't nice enough. It's always something to fucking complain about and bitch about when it comes to people like me. And it's insane. I've noticed this pattern no matter where I have lived. And I have lived in several areas in Wisconsin. I've been to several areas in Wisconsin. And one thing that I know for fucking sure, it's sadly but true, somebody is going to say something fucking like mean. There's going to be bullies. It's not just one person. It's never just one person. It's several people. It's always like bullies run in packs. Like, every single time I've ever been bullied, it's been a pack of people. It's never been just one person, because bullies feel fucking uncomfortable. Let me tell you, here's what I notice. Here's what I find fucking interesting about bullies. When they see me with other people, they don't have a whole lot to say, because they figure, oh, we have to isolate her and get her alone. That way we can get away with saying whatever cruel, heartless, soulless, mean, nasty things we can say wherever we want to say to her without other people being around and being a witness to the harassment. But when I'm by myself and I'm not with other people, guess when the harassment starts? It's when I'm alone. It's when I'm walking by myself somewhere, to the corner store or wherever it is, or even to just get outside for a little while. That's when the harassment starts. When nobody sees me with another fucking person, that's when they conveniently try to pull up in their cars, speeding past me, because, you know, a lot of people around here where I'm staying currently can't seem to even find it within themselves to get out of their cars and say shit to my face. They always have to yell shit that I'm ugly and I'm the N-word and I'm all these horrible things out of their window as they're speeding by in their cars. Because I'm telling you, the neighborhood that I'm originally from, if people were gonna bully me or they were gonna be nasty and heartless to me, the one thing that I can say about that town and that city that I'm from, they didn't give a shit about trying to get away from me as quickly as possible. A lot of people would say that shit to my face. But you know, one of the reasons they would say that shit to my face and bully me to my face is because they know that I can't fight. I'm not a fighter. And a lot of people have this stereotype and this stigma that I've been talking about since the beginning of this video, that Black people are inherently violent. All Black people are fighting. All Black people are doing drugs. All Black people are just so ghetto. You know, there we are with our ghetto-ness. And it's all of these stereotypes. So, of course, naturally, some people are thinking in their heads, wait a minute, she's not a good fighter. She doesn't care, like, she actually cares if she gets in trouble with the law, if she tries to defend herself against people who are bullying her and being disrespectful to her and putting, you know, I've had people put their hands on me plenty of times in the past, but only in my hometown. And it's weird and it grosses me out to call it my hometown because I went through hell and back in my hometown. I went through some pretty horrible, traumatic things in my hometown that I don't know if TikTok would make me take the video down if I talked about it. That's how bad it was in my hometown for me. But if there's one thing that I could say about them is they were not afraid of confrontation, meaning they didn't have to be in their cars to be physically and verbally abusive towards me. They didn't have to be riding by in order to say something nasty. They didn't like I said, they don't give a fuck where I'm from if they can get away from you in time, especially if they know that you can't physically defend yourself. They don't give a flying fuck. They could be 2 inches away from you on the same fucking sidewalk and they will say that shit to your face. So it's so disheartening and it's so fucking frustrating that no matter where I go, even obviously not just where I'm staying right now, but like anywhere that I have been in the states that I'm living in, anywhere in Wisconsin, it's been like people have been absolutely fucking disgusting towards me. Most people. And then the other small percentage of people were actually decent human beings. And I mean a very small percentage of people. There are people I can name on one hand that have actually treated me like a human being instead of a creature or a walking, talking black stereotype that everybody assumes is doing drugs, everybody assumes is ghetto, everybody assumes is fighting people, everybody assumes is violent. A walking, talking stereotype, black stereotype. And I just can't with people. Like, and then I sit in this apartment for hours every single day because of this harassment, because of the amount of hatred people have within them for me. It's an insane amount of hatred to the point where it affects me physically and mentally, that a person can have for somebody like me, a stranger, someone they don't know, someone they've never met, someone they don't have conversations with. Yet they have so much hatred oozing out of them for me as a Black woman that it is, you could actually physically feel it. You can actually feel it. Because, you know, like, I will start to feel so sick, physically sick, like I'm gonna throw up, and all this other symptoms in my body when I am around some of these people that I have to deal with whenever I choose to leave my apartment. That is a big indicator to me that the hatred within those people who are making those nasty comments towards me is so strong. They are sending energy my way. They are sending negative energy my way. That is so powerful. It is penetrating my actual body. Not just spiritually fucking me up, but it is penetrating my physical body and making me fucking sick. I need you to know that. So I literally can't even grasp why people try to, even as a grown woman, try their hardest to make me miserable, try their hardest to make me insecure about the way that I look constantly. If it's not my skin color, it's my physical features. And, you know, like I've mentioned in the other video, I think, I don't even know if people would actually be, because I was going to say, I think they would be happy if I had plastic surgery and I had my entire body redone and I bleached my skin. But I don't even know if they would be happy if I bleached my skin and I got plastic surgery. Because even if I bleached my skin and I got plastic surgery and I wore long weave all the time that looks straight, even though my natural hair is curly, it's not straight at all. When it grows out, it's an afro, like I said. It's not long and straight. Even if I did all of that shit to my body, I still have a sinking suspicion that people would still complain and they would still be nasty to me. Because on some levels, it runs deeper than physical appearance as to why that people are choosing to be mean to me, why people are choosing to bully me. There are certain elements of it that are obviously go beyond the physical. They have to go beyond just my physical appearance as to why they have to be this fucking angry and this aggressive towards me. They can say that I'm an N-word and hurl those racial slurs all they want to out of their cars when I'm walking past minding my own business. And I truly mind my own business. Like, let's not pretend I'm running around here committing crimes and selling drugs and doing all this insane shit that a lot of people like that think Black people are doing. Let's not even go there. But the behaviors that I am witnessing with a lot of these people, I think run deeper than, oh, she's ugly, which a lot of people have made that comment to me whether they're from my hometown, because a lot of people in my hometown used to call me ugly, and a lot of people where I'm living right now call me ugly because I have very ethnic facial features. I have the larger nose, the bigger lips, the higher cheekbones, the dark brown eyes, the curly hair. My hair is short. It's not long enough. I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm not wearing designer clothes. all of the fucking things that they are bitching and complaining about and pointing out and misgendering me and saying that I look like a boy. Because that's one of many ways that people fucking attack the shit out of me, and I don't appreciate it. It makes me physically ill as well to be misgendered. And like I said in the other video, I have nothing against transgender people. I'm just not fucking transgender. So tell me why these women and all the, I'm 30 years old. Why are people still bullying me as an adult? I didn't understand it as a kid when it was happening to me and I was being bullied as a kid, but as a grown-ass 30-year-old woman and people are still fucking behaving this way and they're grown-ass adults making fun of another grown-ass adult? Seriously? What the fuck? And it's like, I don't know. It's fucking ridiculous. And like somebody said to me that I know, they have a lot of self-reflecting to do. You shouldn't allow somebody to make you feel insecure to the point, or uncomfortable, not necessarily insecure, but uncomfortable to the point where you don't feel like you can leave your house. Yeah, well, tell that to all of the girls that drove by me in their truck and said, there he is, and were accusing me of being a fucking transgender. Even when I did what people who are racist wanted me to do. They don't like my ethnic hair. They don't like my curly hair, my afro when it grows out, because that's triggering to them too. So even when I was wearing a long straight wig, something that you would think that they wouldn't have shit to say about, they wouldn't be fucking bitching and complaining, but I got called a fucking transgender, a guy wearing a fucking, they're like, oh, that's a fucking guy. Who the fuck are you to drive by somebody and as loud as you possibly can? There were so many people that could have fucking heard them if they were close by, because they had all of their windows rolled down. Talking about, there he is, pointing at me, humiliating me, embarrassing me. Talking about, he's a transgender. Because that one time, the one time I think I'm doing at least one thing that racist people will not fucking complain about, which is wearing something that makes my hair look straight and long. So I wore this like long wig. It was really long. It was really pretty. It was really natural looking. It wasn't any insane colors, because apparently when a black person wears a wig that has too much color in it, like if a black person wears a pink wig or a blue wig or an orange wig or yellow, any of those bright colors, that's another trigger, because people are thinking, oh, that person is ghetto. They're going to be ratchet. They're going to start drama. They're going to commit crimes. They're going to have baby daddy and baby mama trouble. They're going to do all this crazy shit, even based off of what your hair looks like. Because there are black stereotypes for what type of person that we are based off of our hair. So I already knew if I wear a fucking pink or blue wig, I would have really fucking got it. But I still got it just as bad wearing a natural wig that was like black or brown. Two of the most natural hair colors ever, and they still fucking complained about it. Even though it was straight, and it honestly is more acceptable to people who are this color. To people who are not, who don't have melanin in their skin. You would think it would be more acceptable, but no. What I fucking deal with when I'm minding my own business, going anywhere in this town or any other place that I've been to in this state, would make anybody physically ill and mentally ill. Anybody would be struggling physically and mentally with the shit that a black woman or a black man has to deal with on a daily basis. Let's keep it 100 if we're really gonna go there. And we're consistently being treated like circus animals. If it's not harassment, we're being like, if it's not verbal harassment, we're being physically stared at. And I don't really appreciate the people making excuses for people who stare at black people like we're animals and say, oh, that person is older. Okay, well, you know what? That makes it even worse, because an older person sitting there staring at a black person, they came from a time and a generation where black people were treated like slaves. They were not treated very well at all back then either. In some ways, I don't know if I can say it was worse, because the harassment I deal with when I go out, whenever I leave my apartment, is pretty fucking bad. And it's, yeah. But I don't know if the racism was necessarily worse back then, but there's definitely so much racism to the point where back then they had separate water fountains. A water fountain for the black people and a water fountain for white people. So they're thinking to themselves, there's a young black woman or black man, if, you know, they're constantly accusing me of being fucking transgender, even though my hair is just short. Cutting your hair doesn't change your gender. I hope people fucking know that out there. Hope people learn that. I was still a female even after I cut my hair. So your nasty comments, I don't even know what the fucking point is. But I don't know. It's just like, but he's probably thinking to himself, because of how Jim Crow was, he was from the Jim Crow era where black people were being sprayed with water hoses and attacked by fucking police dogs. He's probably thinking, why is that black woman able to walk by herself somewhere without getting attacked or harassed, or, you know what I mean? Even though he probably doesn't know the fact that I am getting attacked. I'm just not getting attacked as much physically anymore. I'm getting attacked verbally by people who drive by in their cars because they're too cowardly to walk up to me and say, hey, N-word, and say it to my face like they would have back then when he was younger. In the Jim Crow era, when blacks and whites had separate water fountains, back then, they wouldn't have given a single fuck about trying to, you know, they would have said that shit to my face then too. Like I said, even in my hometown where I'm from, they would have said that shit to my face. They wouldn't have given a fuck about trying to get away from me. They don't want to get away from you. If a person singles you out in my actual hometown where I'm actually from, and they want to harass you and they want to abuse you, do you really fucking think that they're so scared they're going to want to speed off in their car after yelling at you or saying something to you? No, they don't give a fuck about speeding off in their car. If they have a problem with you, it's going to be a problem, and they're going to make sure that they're as close to you as humanly fucking possible. They're not trying to escape from you. So, I can't with people sometimes. Thank you for listening.